Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Fredonia, New York. I'm Mayor Mike Ferguson. Tonight is the meeting of the Board of Trustees, our regular meeting, on 911 Church Street, Fredonia, New York, for September 3rd, 2024 at 7 p.m. I'd like to call roll. Keep in mind that Trustee Syracuse is in training tonight for her job, so will not be with us. Trustee Esperson.
Here.
Trustee Brockler.
Here.
Trustee Wendell.
Here.
Trustee Twitchell.
Here.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Can I have approval of minutes?
Whereas members of this board have read the official minutes of the Board of Trustees regular meeting of August 19th, 2024. Now therefore, be it resolved that the board hereby approves the minutes as entered into the official minutes, and be it further resolved that the reading of the minutes be dispensed with.
Second.
Trustee Esperson?
Aye.
Trustee Brockler?
Aye.
Trustee Twitchell?
Aye.
Trustee Wendell?
Aye.
This portion of the meeting is for public comment. Any member of the public wishing to speak, once recognized, shall stand at the microphone, state their name and address. Speakers will be allowed 3 minutes of speaking for themselves or 5 minutes of speaking on behalf of a legitimate group. I will ask the speakers to refrain from remarks that are in poor taste, slanderous, and not germane to any action taken or contemplated by the board. Do we have anybody speaking tonight? Sam Dreo?
I put that down really, Mayor, for the talk, but I read in the paper that it was said at the meeting that the village at one time ran out of water at the reservoir. We never ran out of water. I was here. The village had a severe drought. I forget what year it was, probably. Louis Mancuso was mayor, probably in the mid-70s, but we never ran out of water. We got low, and we took water from Casadega Lake under a measured, controlled system. The measurement of the water at the lake level actually went up when we took water from Casadega Lake. And it was only for a short period of time. I don't think it was more than 10 days. So, I don't think the people should think that a reservoir ran out of water. It's not true. And I'd be more worried about a loss of electricity, the electric grid. There's more chance that we're going to lose power, which we won't lose with our gravity-fed system. The red flags are up about our grids, the electric grid system. It's serious. That's all.
Thank you. James Linden.
Okay.
James Linden, hi. Unfortunately, I wasn't here for the public hearing, but I'm against the law for the more dogs within the village for different residents. I think it's the residents are within the village. We're close. The housing's closer together than within the town. It makes no sense. So I'm opposed to it. The next thing is the letter from Natalie Whiteman to the village. It said that statements were made that were false. They're not false. They were particularly made by me. On July 5th, there was a board workshop. The question was asked to the supervisor of the water treatment plant if the list was satisfied, and he said at that point, it was back in July, it was 95% finished. He was waiting for parts for one particular thing, and that was a statement from him. That's where I got that information from, and that's why I stated it. I would assume by now that the list would be complete or damn near close. And and then the rest of the letter is just a lot of conjecture whether the village would like to expand beyond its borders further than we have now. Well, until we get complete with our projects, where's the point in that? And I believe we could, as I said, once everything's complete. which would be able to supply and sell more water. But taking away those sales, you're gonna lose, in some ways, on a reasonable rate of return to the town of Concord, you're gonna lose somewhere in the neighborhood of $300,000 a year, which would be the amount of money that you could pay for a $15 million bond. And that was taken from an engineering study that we had previously had. And so anyhow, there's also the 10 state standard stuff that she has in there. The previous, before Natalie Whitman was on that board, the previous Department of Health board sent a letter to the village that stated that we would only need to we were sufficient where we were, but if we were to add another storage tank or the connections to improve the city of Dunkirk, in which they have been since then. This was 2019. And the county in 2019, summer 2019, approved the expansion through the North County Water District on Route 20. It's still not complete since 2019. Why is that? That's surprising. I know I'm going to go a little bit over here, but surprisingly, it's still not complete. It seems kind of funny that they're holding off on completing that project when they know we should have it. And she says we should have it. But they said it was either or. We didn't necessarily need an extra storage tank. It was either or a storage tank or these connections. But we have an improved connection with Dunkirk. We should, and he also said we should renegotiate that contract in Dunkirk and hopefully that they could upgrade from the 8-inch line to a 10-inch line, which would solve any issue with the volume of water to that pump station. But also the connections were new since then. That whole idea was new since then, that they put those Route 20 connections, and they're still not operating. Now that would be in addition to solving those problems. So these are more sufficient than what was required back then. But suddenly, now the requirements are different. Maybe there is some standards that have changed, maybe not, I don't know. But what I do know is the volume of water that even at the lower requirement from the Vineyard Drive pump station and the 2 on Route 20 would still put us equal or more than our daily use based on the new numbers that I just asked Alyssa about, that the new numbers show we're only going to have a 10% loss. So our production is way less than what it needed to be, what they thought it was. So it puts us in a very safe standard for safety and fire protection. Now you can certainly look at that, particularly if you look at our past engineering studies. Read that. Actually read that. I don't care what the engineering study that was proposed for this, looking into other alternatives. Read what was done in the past. These studies were accurate. And now we have, like I said, these new numbers that are showing that we have a satisfactory amount of water. Not only in the reservoir, but in the plant itself. And also stated for the upgrade of the dam reservoir, if you raise the engineering studies in the past, it stated if you raise the dam height, which it has done once before, you raise that dam height 1 foot, it'll give you 20 million gallons more of raw storage. 20 million. And it is a possibility based even on the newest studies. So I want you to take a better look at that. Because again, in your July workshop, Nicole and John said that what they're looking into is closing down the reservoir. That's what they said, but this board has not approved that. So why are they looking into closing the reservoir and the thing?
Hey Jim, 3 minutes are up, please.
Okay.
Thank you. Anyone else here to speak? If not, we close the public portion and go into correspondence.
Correspondence dated August 20th, 2024 was received from Emma Newton resigning her position of clerk 2 for the code enforcement office.
I second.
No, you gotta read it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Be it resolved that the resignation of Emma Newton, Fredonia, New York, Clerk 2 for the Code Enforcement Office is hereby accepted effective immediately, and the mayor is hereby authorized to write a letter to Ms. Newton thanking her for her service to the village of Fredonia.
Second.
Trustee Esperson.
Aye.
Trustee Brockler.
Aye.
Trustee Wendell.
Aye.
Trustee Twitchell.
Aye.
Letter from Robert Wisniewski.
Dear-
Wisniewski.
Oh, sure. Dear board members, I'm writing this letter to get your permission to put a plaque on a bench in your downtown park. The plaque will say, in memory of Mr. Thomas Fisher, a dedicated policeman for 42 years in Fredonia, New York. Thank you for this consideration. Sincerely, Robert Wisniewski.
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 It's okay.
We both say. So, thank you. And that would require a resolution, correct? Okay. Mr. Wisniewski will let you know if that comes to fruition. Thank you. Mayor's report. On Tuesday, August 20th, this is since the last time we met, we viewed the asset management for small water systems via Zoom. I thank Trustee Wendell for implementing these asset management practices, as well as Urlissa Lavelle for implementing these for our village. They are far ahead of that process, and it was a very interesting video, to say the least. Thursday, August 22nd, met with the owners of the Econo Lodge in my offices to discuss the current condition of the facility and the numerous disruptions Fredonia Police have had to attend to at that location. Also later that afternoon, I was called to Mayville to meet with County Executive P.J. Wendell and several of his teammates, including mental health and DSS committees, to continue the discussion of the current stage of the Econo Lodge at County Hall. Also on the 22nd, we held our department head meeting with water treatment, DPW, police, fire, and finance to strategize the upcoming fall season, as well as review the needs and expectations of the upcoming budget planning season. Also on the 22nd, it was a busy day. We met with Urlissa Lavelle for our weekly financial meeting, review new processes and procedures she has implemented in this year's budget, and found that to date, spending is down considerably over past budgets since her plan has been put into place. Also on the 22nd, I took the time to welcome the new class of 2028 and returning students and families at Fredonia State University. We're happy to report that student enrollment is tracking upward this year with over 3,300 plus students arriving in our community, and we all had plenty of hand sanitizers. We shook over 300 hands of incoming parents and family members. Friday, August 23rd, met with the village attorney to discuss the Econo Lodge situation going forward. We welcomed the board of the Fredonia Farm Festival to their very first setup. On Saturday, August 24th, we continued to welcome more students, more parents to the community. And on the 24th and 25th, as we stated, the 56th edition of the Fredonia Farm Festival went off as a huge success. We want to thank not only the board members, of which Ben Brockler was one. There were over 7 board members plus, but we'd also like to thank Mariah Kravitz, who single-handedly had over 730 plus members marching in the parade. Truly one of the largest parades in Farm Festival history. And planning will begin again starting this Thursday for next year's event. We want to remind people that the traditional Red, White, and Blues festivals will be here Saturday and Sunday, various locations. You can go on Festivals Fredonia website to get more information on that annual event. Monday, August 26th, we met with county officials to update them on a proposed new option for the water treatment, Fredonia Water Project. Members of county government, state government, town and Popford officials were present. And Wednesday, August 28th, we held our bi-weekly board workshop. Also received a letter today from Kara McGill, who works in the water department, who received a message from Sharon Anir on the paper recycling container that is located here in the parking lot. Had great concern about the container. Said this has been an ongoing problem for the last week. Someone needs to address it. Students, neighbors, many other restaurants frustrated by its state. We called the company that owns that paper container that's in the parking lot. When the village signed the contract, which was 2 administrations ago, somewhere in there, they were supposed to be receiving a monthly payment for the use of that, of which we have received 0 since we found that. So I instructed them not only to come and empty it, but to take it with them. They came probably last month, emptied it, but did not take it away. And with the move-in of students and neighbors, it is full again and potential fire hazard. They were called today, and we are assured that that will be taken off the property permanently as of the end of this week. Also received 2 letters from Fessenden, Lalmer, and D'Angelo asking for the scheduling in September of October of both the Fredonia Professional Firefighters Association 2931 contract, as well as the Fredonia Police Benevolent Association annual contract, also due up, and they're requesting discussion in September or October. I want to thank everybody in the village for coming out for the Fire Festival. I want to ask you to come out and support the Red, White, and Blues Festival as well. It brings hundreds, if not thousands, of people to the community. And don't forget, there's free parking in the east and west parking lot while you're in town. And that ends my report for this week. Trustee and committee members' reports. Trustee Brockler.
Well, I spent a little bit of time on the Farm Festival this past little while, and anticipate kicking off planning Thursday night for the next one. It was really a wonderful experience. Quite pleased with how it turned out. Had a nice time talking to many of the vendors and exhibitors there, and they seemed mostly to be very, very satisfied with it. So I'm quite happy with that. And I think that's really all I've got for right now.
Excellent. Trustee Wendell.
2 committee reports, Finance and DPW. Finance Committee. On August 20th, I completed online asset management training from New York State. On August 27th, I met with our treasurer, Alyssa, to discuss her plans for a village-wide rollout effective this September in all departments. This initiative will provide for and enable accurate and comprehensive accounting of all village material assets. The benefits of this tool are numerous. They include increased operating efficiency, utilizing inventory recording and control, budget, and maintenance planning. DPW, specifically wastewater treatment plant. On Friday, August 23rd, I met with David Phelps, wastewater treatment plant supervisor, and Ryan Liskowski, motion AI controls engineer. The purpose of this meeting was to optimize the performance of the automated effluent valves, controlling the water flow rates and levels of the filter beds. After a detailed process discussion and understanding, it was followed by a design review, and changes were made. The automation software was modified, fine-tuned, and then extensively tested. The overall benefit is to reduce the duty cycle of the effluent valve operation, thus allowing them to run cooler, more precise, and efficient, and ultimately extending their lifespan. The plant supervisor has since confirmed that our work was successful. On Wednesday, August 28th, Mr. Mike Kessler visited our village. He is the engineering director for the town of Tonawanda water treatment plant and wastewater treatment plants. Mike has demonstrated success in moving his capital improvement projects forward and to completion in both of those plants, and specifically using SMART initiatives to secure significant grant funding. After I toured his plants, I invited him to tour ours. He joined Mayor Mike, our supervisors Louis Fred and David Phelps, and myself, offering input and evaluations. Our joint meeting also provided a platform for future discussions and information exchange. This includes how to better optimize our treatment plant chemical purchasing, because the prices have recently increased significantly, possible variations in our treatment process, and New York State and federal funding resources. Lastly, Mike has recently launched a technique in Tonawanda for treatment of aged water and sewer pipes. This process is described as slip lining. that allows compromised below-grade piping to be salvaged without major projects. On that point, I'm coordinating a meeting between Mike's office in Tonawanda and our street supervisor, Mr. Scott Marsh, to establish resource contacts and potential project quotes. The goal is to determine if this process is economically feasible for us. Approximately 30% of the village piping has been replaced, meaning 70% needs attention. In summary, I know that our plant supervisors benefited from Mike's visit. We have a lot of work ahead of us, yet it is assuring that the village can gain from the successful efforts from another Western New York community. Finally, the Farm Festival on Saturday, August 24th. I worked that day at the Chautauqua County Republican Tent during the 56th Annual Farm Festival. This was a great event and opportunity to meet with our village residents, to dialogue, listen to their concerns, and assure them that the village governing team is working diligently and proactively. On Sunday, we marched in the parade. We had a great time and handed out a lot of candy. That's it.
Good deal. Thank you. And I want to thank Mike for coming down from Tonawanda, and also Dave Feld for just a wonderful tour, and so glad to see the handle he has on that facility. Not an easy job. There's a joke there, but I'll let it go. So, anyhow, Trustee Twitchell.
Yes, I'd also like to commend the Farm Festival Committee. They did a wonderful job. I attended Saturday morning, and I was sitting with some of the farmers market vendors, and they were thrilled to be invited back again to the Farm Festival, and they did quite well. And people were excited to see them there because everybody that participates in the farmers market was there selling their fresh meats, fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, and I even had conversations with some of the students that stopped by. And the students are thrilled that we still have the Farm Festival. A lot of them look forward to it when they return to school. And I was also at the farmers market this past Saturday, and again, I was really happy to see everybody enjoying downtown Fredonia, enjoying the array of fresh vegetables and fruit, and again, to see the amount of college students that come to the farmers market enjoying this. And I really think it's a great opportunity for our community, and I really support the farmers market. I really think it's wonderful for our community. And one last thing, I was a little surprised, Mayor, about your meeting about August 6th. You said you met with the county. Now that's the first time I've heard about that. And being a trustee, I know I, for one, would like to know of these meetings. I would assume that you had maybe Trustee Esperson with you, and I really don't like being shut out of knowing what's going on, and I would like to have a report next time.
It's in my report.
Yeah. Tell you the truth, it was less than a 24-hour notice.
Okay,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying that how important it is for the rest of us trustees to know what's going on, because after all, we all have to agree on what's happening, and we should be well informed.
This is the first meeting since we met with them, and that's why I'm going to report on it.
Okay, and I did request a copy of a report from you when you met with the town conference.
And
I don't know if
I asked Anne Marie to put it in everybody's box. She had copies of it. Asked her to make
I
copies
have
for
not
her.
received
Did you guys
anything.
get one?
Not sure.
Okay.
I haven't received anything yet, because
Okay.
I really think it's vital that we're
Well,
all
I do too,
kept
and
up.
that's why I asked
on
her to put
this
it in the box.
information.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and that's all I have to report.
Also wanted to thank Darwin Barker Library. They sponsored the night before the festival a family movie in the park. Over 90 people attended that movie, plus more kind of came and gone. So just another nice event there. But thank you. Trustee Esperson?
As the community may or may not know, an individual was granted a license to open a dispensary in the village of Fredonia. And the address that was approved by the state is 65 Water Street. And although the Cannabis Committee told the state that we believe that that didn't meet the distance requirements, they approved it anyway. So the Cannabis Committee met last week. We're reviewing the updated state regulations, and we'll be meeting soon to discuss implementation of local regulations. There's very little control that the village has over how cannabis businesses are run. But we're going to look at options. We do have time, signage, lighting, that kind of thing, and see if there's any kind of regulations that we want to bring forward. The town of Pomfret did that. They created laws for any cannabis business that moved into the town of Pomfret, and we have a copy of those laws, and we're going to review those as well. And I said I had a report regarding what the water committee has been doing. The engineers are ready to prepare an update to their report of November 2023 to include an evaluation of interconnecting with the North Chautauqua Water District. In addition, they will be preparing a system hydraulic model to better understand the existing hydraulic conditions and model the system hydraulics of all alternatives in their report. This will be used, among other things, to optimize the size of the new shared storage tank. The cost of the proposed work is $70,000. As Mike addressed, we met with area representatives, the county and state levels. They are extremely optimistic they will be able to fund the entire study, as we previously discussed. Additionally, talks with the Chautauqua County Department of Health revealed the village does not have to demolish the water treatment plant if we choose another water source. We have to ensure that the water from the reservoir is not entering the plant. We have to empty the clear well, remove chemicals, and make minor adjustments. Along with joining the town and building a water tower, millions of dollars of savings will be realized. Demolishing the water treatment plant carried an estimated cost of $2 million. The new foundation and tank had an estimated cost of $2.76 million. Those are 2023 figures. We can assume that those figures are no longer right. They would be considerably higher. We should hear in the next month whether those funds have been approved by the county, the state, and I'll report when we hear from them. That's all I've got.
Thank you. There's no treasurer's report for tonight, no additional reports for this evening, which brings us to resolutions. Trustee Brockman.
I'd like to propose we table this first one. If I can get a second for that. After talking to David Friedman, I think we need to make some changes to the definition of kennel in our law. And I'd like to hold off on that, and I'm not sure where I'm at on this.
Isn't the kennel, there's their different laws?
You could
regarding
ask for a
kennels?
variance. I spoke with Chuck today. He could have asked for a variance, but that means that the neighbors get to comment on whether they want a kennel in their neighborhood.
Mhm.
And I bet nobody wants that. Nobody wants a kennel. I would rather move to say no to this. I know they have me down as a second on this. I'm against this resolution,
Do you want to
and
move forward with voting on it?
I would like to move forward on
All right.
voting.
Let me read it then, and we'll move forward.
I will not second it, though.
All right.
I'll second it.
Okay. Whereas a public hearing was held before the Village of Fredonia Board on August 28th at 6:30 p.m. to hear all persons interested in proposed local law number 3 of 2024. Now therefore be it resolved that local law number 3 of 2024, local law to change the number of allotted dogs for one premise, is hereby adopted pursuant to section 297-21.3b of the Code of Village of Fredonia, and be it further resolved that the Village of Fredonia clerk shall publish the official newspaper in the official newspaper of the village a notice of adoption containing a synopsis of said law, and shall within 20 days file one certified copy in the clerk's office with the Secretary of State. Do we need to read the local law itself? Local law number 3 of 2024. This local law shall be entitled Local Law Amending Section 297-21.3b of the Code of the Village of Fredonia to change number of allotted dogs for one premise. Being enacted by the Board of Trustees of the Village of Fredonia as follows. Section 1. Section 297-21.3b of the Code of the Village of Fredonia is hereby amended to read as follows. Section 297-21.3b, animals within the Village of Fredonia, B, not more than a total of 4 dogs and 4 cats may be kept on any one premise except kennels as defined by this article as are permitted in the C2 district. Section 2, this local law shall take effect immediately upon filing with the Secretary of State of the State of New York as required by law.
Second.
Trustee Twitchell.
Nay.
Trustee Wendell.
Nay.
Trustee Brockler.
I'm going to vote nay.
Trustee Esperson.
My personal feeling is that 95% of the population, the residents, have no idea how many dogs they can have at this time. And I don't think anybody's going to say, oh, we can have 4 dogs. I'm going to go out and buy extra dogs because now I can, when I didn't know how many I could have before. With that said, I will vote nay.
The law fails. Trustee Brockler, another resolution.
Be it resolved that the regular and overtime payrolls of the various village departments and bills approved by the Finance Committee and set forth in abstracts numbers 729 through 732 are hereby approved and directed, paid, and available in the village clerk's office, 9 to 11 Church Street, Fredonia, New York.
Second.
Trustee Esperson.
Aye.
Trustee Twitchell.
Aye.
Trustee Brockler.
Aye.
Trustee Wendell.
Aye.
Whereas the village requires a service maintenance contract for the equipment at the filtration plant, whereas Hack Company, Medina, New York, has offered to provide a maintenance contract to include calibrations, technical calls, and yearly maintenance for a yearly price of $14,867.51, and whereas this contract is necessary for the village's purpose to maintain the equipment processing the water for the village. Therefore, be it resolved, the village board hereby authorizes entering into the maintenance agreement for 1 year with Hack for $14,867.51.
Second.
Trustee Brockler.
Aye.
Trustee Esperson.
Aye.
Trustee Wendell.
Aye.
Trustee Twitchell.
Aye.
Be it resolved that Alyssa LeBeau, village treasurer, Westerly Drive, Fredonia, is hereby appointed to the position of deputy village clerk, effective immediately.
Second.
Before we take this vote, I want the public to know that Ms. LeBeau has agreed to do this as part of her current duties. There's no additional cost to taxpayers. Trustee Brockler.
Aye.
Trustee Wendell.
Aye.
Trustee Twitchell.
Aye.
Trustee Esperson.
Aye.
And we want to thank Ms. LeBeau for taking this on with all the other duties that she also already has with the village. And we have full confidence in her ability to do this as required by law in New York State. Thank you. There's no reason for executive session tonight unless the board has one. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, the next Village Board of Fredonia workshop will take place Wednesday, September 11th at 2024 at 9 a.m. in the trustee room, second floor of Village Hall. The next Village of Fredonia Board meeting will take place on Monday, September 16th at 2024 at 7 p.m. in the trustee room, second floor of Village Hall. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy our beautiful village and enjoy Chautauqua County. We thank you. Can we have a motion, which I wasn't there yet, to our trustees for...
I'll make that motion.
Thank you very much.
Second.
Trustee Esperson.
Second. Aye.
Trustee Brockler.
Aye.
Trustee Wendell.
Aye.
Trustee Twitchell.
Aye.
Thank you, Chip. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being here
You're
tonight.
welcome.
Have a nice
Yes.
night.